Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Business Talks. I am your host, Chawanne Burns. In today's episode, we're going to talk about Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris had a rally last night, and it was pretty packed, to say the least, because they announced Megan Thee Stallion was going to be there. And I believe Quavo, I don't know if Quavo performed, but he was in the audience somewhere. So we're going to discuss that. People are talking about it, and we're going to talk about it. And also, Roland Martin is mad at the National Association of Journalism, Black Journalism. He's mad because they gave Donald Trump an interview. And to me, it's kind of ludicrous. You could feel however you want towards a person, but this is a presidential candidate. So why would you stop information from going out? Okay, so he's livid. He's livid at this association for even giving Donald Trump a platform. So we'll discuss that all on today on another episode of Business Talks.
Something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad. Looks a little something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad.
That's right.
Okay, my bad. I had to go get my coffee out the microwave. Okay, you guys put in the chat. Let me know where you're viewing from. Please put it in the chat. Let me know where you're viewing from. It's always great to see you guys in the building. I see we have Posh Petals. Good afternoon. Siege. Kamala, why do your neck look like an old wrinkled sock falling off down a leg? Almost like you guys in your comments. Okay. Siege is good to see you. Noble Young is in the building. Posh Petal is saying she is looking like haggard, isn't she? Yes. And you know what? I have my own thoughts about what is her name? I'm going to start calling her Scamala. Kamala Scamala, or Kamala Scamala. I got to match it with scam, because I think she does not have a genuine bone in her body. Kamala Harris, she's a scam. And I don't know how people could vote for her, because she changed with the wind. If she's around black people, I guess she's talking black. If she's in Atlanta, she's talking Southern. It doesn't make sense. So before we actually get into the rally last night, I want to just share some polls with you, some polling numbers. And this was out this morning. This is this interactive poll. And it's saying, I don't know who they're polling. I really don't know. I really don't know who they're polling. But this is saying that right now, as it stands, I guess if we go through the election, Harris is the person that will win the electoral votes. She comes out with 284 votes. Trump comes out with 254. Because I believe Harris is leading in these battleground states, Michigan and Wisconsin and Georgia. Okay, those two battleground states, they need to, Donald Trump needs to work on flipping those, because I think those are the ones that's gonna put him over the top. Don't know if we should be looking at these polls. I don't know how accurate these polls are, but that's what they're telling us. That's what they're saying. You guys, let me know if you actually agree with this poll. And this is from political polls. I don't know how they're doing their research. I don't know where they're getting it from. Earlier this morning, let me just show you my stream profile. Early this morning, they put out Donald Trump was at 59%. 59% of the vote. So if he's at 59% of the vote, popular vote, how in the world can, I know we have electoral college, but like logically, you only got 40% of the vote. How can you win the electoral college vote? But this is what this is out here on Polymarket. So anyway, I just want to share that with you. You guys let me know your thoughts on that. Okay, so just to get into this, I don't know what you call it. She called it a rally. It had, some, what is her name? Megan Thee Stallion. They have some superstars in there. And, they announced who they were bringing in so people could show up. Because, of course, you gotta announce it. So people showed up to see Megan Thee Stallion. But on one part of the rally, or during the rally, she decided to start talking country. This is the vice president. She says, now this is on her headquarters page. Vice President Harris, on day one, I will work to take on price gouging and bring down costs. We will ban more of these hidden fees. We will take on corporate landlords and cap unfair rent increases. And we will take on big pharma, cap prescription drug costs for all Americans. This sounds like Biden's campaign. I don't know what she's running on. She literally stole Biden's campaign. She stole Biden's campaign.
On day one, I will take on price gouging and bring down costs. We will ban more of those hidden fees and surprise late charges that banks and other companies use to pad their profits. We will take on corporate landlords and cap unfair rent increases. And we will take on big pharma to cap prescription drug costs for all Americans. Our plan will lower costs and save many middle-class families thousands of dollars a year. But Donald Trump has a different plan in mind, one that would raise prices on middle-class families.
Okay, so that was that. So she's talking about take on prescription drugs, lower the rent or cap rent increase. I believe that Biden was talking about that prior to him getting out the election. Does she has a real platform? I don't know. You go to her campaign, you can't see anything. I've been posing the question, do you have a real platform? Even to some of Kamala supporters. If you're a Kamala supporter, I'm not trying to run you off, but I would really like to know what Kamala Harris policies, or what is she actually running on. She said this tonight, but we know she wants the reproductive health, basically abortion for women. That's one of the things that she talked about. Now, this accent that she just pulled out of thin air was kind of weird, but this is her.
So let's get right. And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. So let's get right. And
I don't know why she would start talking like that, but she's, you know, like I said, I don't take Kamala Harris serious. I really don't. Even though she stopped laughing, and I guess some of her publicists told her to stop laughing because nobody's going to take you seriously. You can't just switch up like that. You can't say, oh, I'm down in Atlanta, so I got to start talking country. No, it makes you look like a psychopath. Remember, I called her a psychopath, but that's what it makes her look like. Then she's gonna, you know, she brought Megan Thee Stallion, and people they had I seen mixed reaction from this. Okay, some people praised it because, you know, hey, you got to get the young voters out. And then other people were like appalled because, oh, that's what you think of me. You think I'm not going to ask you about your policies. I'm just, oh, give me a party and I'm going to vote for you. That sounds ridiculous. But that's how they feel about black folks. I hate to say it. This is, oh, give Pookie and Ray Ray a party, buy them some drinks, and they'll love you to death. They'll keep on voting you in every single time. This is, I'm not going to, make sure. I got to make sure that the music ain't playing because, you know, I get a copyright strike. But this is, you know, Megan Thee Stallion. Hey, I think it's a time and a place for everything. I'm not an anti-Megan Thee Stallion. Actually, I like the way they look. She had clothes on, which was good. But you're popping, you're twerking. At one point, she was twerking, and it's like you had some people like, "Oh, is this what we doing?" And then you had others like, you know, they enjoyed it, and of course, the younger people enjoyed it. But you know, who are you trying to attract? I guess you're trying to attract the young voters, but the young voters are just going to come and maybe not even voting. People just probably like, oh, yeah, let's go see Megan Thee Stallion. I'm not voting for Harris. You know, I'll just come for that. You know, but I really would like to see black folks start pressuring Kamala Harris. No, what are your policies? Give us specific policies that you are running on. And, you know, black folks that's voting Democrat, they prefer policies written directly for them. So what are your black agenda? What is your black agenda? Or what are your black what are your black agenda policies? And if you can't give me that, then you don't need my vote. I don't give a damn about Megan Thee Stallion. You don't literally need my vote if you can't just give me what I'm asking you for. You're asking for my vote, but you're trying to entertain me, and that's some BS. So we had let me see if I could find her on here. So people made comparison. I don't know if you guys remember when Hillary Clinton ran back in 2016, and she was, I don't know if she was speaking to Atlanta or somewhere. She was down south somewhere. And then Kamala Harris, they made a comparison. Hillary Clinton talking to black people, Kamala Harris talking to black people.
I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me.
And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024.
I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me to leave me.
And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024.
If I would have seen this about Hillary Clinton, I don't think I would have voted for her. Because to me, it seems like you're being fake right now. Nobody needs a fake person. I don't want a fake person. I want you to act like I'm intelligent enough to know, hey, if you give me these policies, I will evaluate the policies to see if it works good for my family and my community. And if I don't agree with the policies, then you might not get my vote. If you have more policies I disagree with, you probably won't get my vote. Or maybe I'm a one policy person. This one policy is so strong on my wish list, you might get my vote. But don't play me as a sucker. And that's why I put it on the thumbnail, Kamala is a scam. She's a scam. She has no genuine bone in her body, no original bone in her body. She stole the nomination. She plotted and schemed and stole the nomination from Joe Biden. She hid Joe Biden's health condition from the American people. But she did that it was all a ploy because she could not win in the primaries. She wouldn't have been able to win in the primaries. If Joe Biden would have came out prior to them running, for the primaries, and some other candidates would have came out, she wouldn't have stood a chance. So she had to plot and scheme her way, get Joe Biden to say, oh yeah, I'll run. He probably wasn't even thinking about running, but maybe he was. Oh yeah, you run, but I notice you're having some mental acuity problems or some health problems. But yeah, I'll support you. And then she went behind his back and plot and scheme with a previous manager for the delegates, and they stole the nominee from Joe Biden. And now you're in front of black folks trying to act like you're down. You're down for the people. You get Megan Thee Stallion to twerk because you think black folks love twerking. The other day, it was just about a month ago, she was playing Sexy Red in front of the young people. You're supposed to be the leader. Okay, that's what they like. But if they're in the White House, you shouldn't be playing Sexy Red. Where's your bar at? You're not setting the bar. You're going down to the bar. The lowest bar. You're not making people, okay, we're raising our bar. You're not an Obama or a Michelle Obama. I'm sorry, some people don't like Obama, but when Barack Obama got into office, people felt proud. They're not proud of you. Even though Barack didn't do a damn thing for black folks. Okay? He didn't do a damn thing for black folks. But you can't tell me when Barack Obama got in office, you can't tell me you felt a sense of pride. And you don't feel that way with Kamala, because Kamala Harris, she's not raising the bar. She's putting the bar on the floor. She's getting real gutter. Or she is in the gutter. You're not setting standards. And people are looking, quote unquote, looking up to you. It looks ridiculous. And it's kind of disgusting to me, if you ask me. I think it's very disgusting. Where's my other post I wanted to share with you guys? So they're going back and forth about Kamala Harris. I wanted to share this one post with you. I believe this individual, she explained it very, she had a great explanation about Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris bringing on Megan Thee Stallion. Okay, you're just gonna say, hey, bring on Megan Thee Stallion, and I don't need to talk about any policies. And like I said, I think that's how Kamala Harris feels about black folks. She don't care about you. She do not care about you. Okay, this is her.
As cringe as seeing Juvenile do vax that thing up. It was as cringe as watching Mary J. Blige sing about crispy chickens on the Burger King commercial. It was cringe. And I don't give a damn how y'all feel about it. That shit was embarrassing as hell. I'm not mad at Megan because Megan was just getting a check. But when did popping your pussy become something for women's rights? Pussy politics. Coochie crumbs for Kamala. Hoes for Harris. Shit is so fucking... Yo, I'm laughing to keep from crying because this is some embarrassing shit, y'all. Why are y'all voting for this shit, man? Why are y'all standing for this? Come on now, sisters. What are y'all doing? And you know what's crazy? It's like when I go in people's lives and we ask people why they're supporting her, they never have a fucking answer. It's always identity politics, which is by far the worst form of campaign.
The worst form of politics to have. Identity politics. Identity politics is the worst form of politics to have. This is an interesting post about, and I don't know if it's going to ever come out, but maybe not. Interesting post about Kamala Harris. Now, Kamala Harris, she has several people drop out, okay? I guess Whitmer, and I'm talking about her VP list. Whitmer was on there. She said no. That Ron Cooper, he said no. There were two other people that said no. And now it's a very short list. You have Shapiro and Mark Kelly. Okay, those are the only two people that she has. Now, this individual that's on X, she uses some very, I guess, if you want to call them flagrant words. But that's why her handle is Tiff Mood Nukes. So when she talks and writes, is very, I guess, obscene, if you want to call it obscene, but it's provocative. And it's most of the time it's funny. But she writes this: where is the Me Too? Kamala surrounds herself with sexual predators, including being married to an enabler. Kamala's husband, Doug Emhoff, tried to silence his former DLA Piper partner, Vanina Guerrero, who filed a complaint against the firm's top deal maker, claiming she was sexually assaulted 4 times.
Can I have a pizza?
How are you going to warm it up?
In the mic?
Okay, 30 seconds, okay?
Okay.
Put a paper towel
Okay.
over it and under it.
Okay.
VP frontrunner Josh Shapiro office failed to cover up a sexual harassment scandal and agreed to pay a settlement of $295,000.
Cannon, you want pizza?
In 2016, Kamala's senior advisor, Larry Wallace, had to resign after a $400,000 sexual harassment report. Kamala knew her assistant was being sexually abused for months and did nothing. Now, I didn't confirm these allegations, but this is what they're saying. This is like, I guess, on the rumor mill. And then just a day ago, this is on the National Catholic Register. It says, clergy sex abuse victim cries foul over how Kamala Harris treated him 2 decades ago. It says Joey Pestilli told the Register that during a 7-year period Harris served as San Francisco DA, she repeatedly declined his request to release relevant documents and to meet with him. Kamala Harris is emphasizing her experience as a prosecutor in a campaign for president, which is drawing attention to her decision as a district attorney 2 decades ago, including how she handled victims of sexual abuse by Catholic clergy. Some advocates for victims said she didn't help them when she could have, particularly during a 7-year period when she had control over personal files of Catholic priests accused by sex crimes. Okay, it's not a new claim. Critics have made it during the last at least 2 of Harris' prior runs for her higher office. Joey is 69, a clergy sex abuse victim and activist, told the Register that when Harris was San Francisco DA from 2004 to 2011, he couldn't get documents from her, couldn't get a meeting with her, couldn't even get acknowledgement that he tried. He estimates he sent her a half a dozen letters and participated in about a half a dozen protests outside her office to no avail. I've been registered Democrat all my life, and I don't have any problem with the Democratic Party. I have a problem with her. Okay? That's what he said on a telephone call. For me, it's not a political thing. It's about her behavior and her track record. Donald Trump just made a statement about, I think this is a couple of weeks old. He's saying, he was saying that Kamala is very, very extremist. She's like way extreme. She's off the cliff. She could be in the squad 5 if they allow her. That's how extremist she is. And she does, and I don't think Kamala has anybody in mind unless it benefits her. She's not going to help you unless it benefits her. I believe that's her MO. If it benefits her, okay, then she will, maybe turn the page or 2. I'm not for sure. Maybe she'll release. If he probably would have paid her, if he was probably like one of the higher ups, why are you just need a paper towel? You don't need no plates unless you're gonna wash dishes, buddy. Just a paper towel. Get a couple of paper towels and put it in the microwave. Only for 30 seconds. My kids is home, so you guys gotta forgive me. No documents. Getting justice for sex abuse is one of the pillars of Harris' political career. One of her biographers, Dan Moraine, described her in his 2021 book Kamala's Way: An American Life. A prosecutor who had held the hands of victims of sex crimes. So if you're helping people in this way, what happened to this guy? How did he fall through the cracks? As a prosecutor, I specialize in cases involving sexual abuse. Harris said in Milwaukee suburb, July the 23rd, during the first rally.
So, do you want us to put the paper towel in the microwave?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it says Pastelli told the Register he was sexually abused by a priest about 55 years ago, starting when he was a freshman at what was known as the Salesian High School in Richmond, California, about 12 miles northeast of San Francisco. In 2006, a jury awarded him $600,000 from the priest and from the Salesian Society, a judgment that a higher state could appeal and appeal. He told the Register he and other clergy sex abuse victims met in 2003 with Terrence Hallman, a district attorney of San Francisco at the time, about the documents had obtained concerning the priest accused of sexually abusing minor, including personal files from the Archdiocese of San Francisco. But Hallman died in 2020. Showed the activist a room stacked with boxes of files and said he planned to release them to the public. And I guess that's what he was trying to get. And Harris said she never produced, or Pastelli said Harris never produced the files. He was claiming that she was protecting and aiding and shielding the predators of the diocese by not releasing the documents. Yeah, what else would you be doing? Okay, so that's some more background. Yesterday we told you about some other stuff with Kamala Harris. This is some more background about Kamala Harris. Should you be voting for Kamala Harris? You tell me. Should you actually vote for her? Number one, I say no off the bat. If you didn't know none of this stuff, I say no off the bat because you don't even know what Kamala Harris what she's running on. We know abortion, but if abortion is really important to you, that's maybe you want to vote for her for that. But that wouldn't be my only thing for me to vote for her. It has to be something else. Okay, so abortion and illegal immigration. She's planning to give illegal immigrants immunity, free health care, free housing. They'll be able to vote. What else do you want? I mean, so you'll be paying for it. If you pay taxes, you ultimately will be paying for that. Okay? So should you vote for Kamala Harris? You tell me. You guys put it in the chat. Should you vote for her? Kennard the DJ, what is good? Kevin Walker, it's good to see you. Hair, Life, and Style TV. Is your theme song original, and how do the lyrics go? It is original. It's explicit. Well, they don't really say, but it talks about being a bad bee. But Matt Torrance, he's one of my viewers. He's the one who wrote and composed my theme song. Kennard the DJ said, I call her side order instead of a side piece. You said it right at first, Chawanne. You can pronounce words better than Tiffany here. Thank you. Mike Drebeck, I'm sick of them throwing fake black people in front of us like we stupid and vote based off of color. Yeah, come on now. We're not stupid. We're not stupid people. And we need to be pushing back on these politicians that does this kind of stupid stuff. I don't know if she's planning to meet with the NABJ, National Organization or National Association of Black Journalism. I don't know if she's planning to meet with them. Roland Martin was saying on this clip I'm about to show you that Kamala called in, but she wanted to do it online, and they didn't want to do it online because I guess they want to make sure she's in front and they're able, in contact with each other And he criticized them for that because they were saying that he was saying that they do online interviews all the time. But for some reason, they're doing Donald Trump face to face. They want to do Kamala Harris face to face. Okay. Will you soon discuss how the feds went to share down the black pastor in the Carolina because the comments about Kamala from 4 or 5 years ago? Yeah, I'll look it up and I'll talk about it. No, that just ignore Streamlabs. It's an auto messaging. I gotta change it. Technosiege says abracadabra posts, now you see it and now you don't. And that's how it used to be. Like, did they take that post down? Yeah. Dr. Gregory Kupamala. She staged a coup. D. Dave, culture vulture and coonery at its finest. Culture vulture, exactly. It's so funny because I get into these little spats. I wouldn't call it arguments. I get into spats, and I had this lady call me, and she was a black lady. I would say we about the same age, but she looked a little bit older than me. But she said that we need to check your blackness because you look passing. I ain't never heard somebody say, Chawanne, you could be passing. And passing, if some of my white viewers passing for white. I never heard of that. I never heard somebody tell me I could be passing. But I guess on my pictures I look, I am kind of high yellow, but I ain't high yellow. I'm not high yellow. This is high yellow. This is my yellow right here. And then I get like, real caramel in the summertime. But so she was like, oh, we need to check your heritage. And then I was like, well, what can I say? I guess if that's going to make you feel better. But, people get mad at you because you're telling them, hey, or you're asking them, what are Kamala's policies? What is her platform? What is she running on? We don't need to vote just because she claims that she's black or she had that black experiences. We've done that all before. We've done identity politics. So we've learned from that, people. We learned from that. We're wiser now. So why would we say, oh, we're going to vote for Kamala because she's a woman, number one, and because she identifies as a black woman? That doesn't make any sense. So you get people mad at you and want to fight you over some stupid shit. Hillary Clinton talking like she's in one of those 1970 blaxploitation movies. Yeah, that was hilarious. Blaxploitation movies. It was hilarious. Then you had Savannah Hernandez. She's on Turning Point. She's one of the journalists on Turning Point. She actually went to the Kamala Harris rally, and she noticed that it was a nice crowd, but as the the performances ran down or calmed down or went off stage, i.e. Meg the Stallion. When she left, she said as the night went on, people started leaving, and this is what she had to say.
Which just wrapped up. Now you guys saw all of the guys saw the clips, the performances. There's a lot going on here in Georgia for Kamala.
So she said a lot of energy, but she don't know if people were there just for Kamala, and they probably wasn't. You know, black folks, they really gotta believe in you for them to just come out for you. Okay, and can you pack the house if you didn't have any performance? That's how we know if somebody's actually believing in your campaign. And on some of these videos, she's kind of scanning the crowd. She's scanning the crowd and showing, you know, different people. And it is a packed house. You know, it's a packed house. This is prior to the performance. Just this part is not packed. And I guess this part is just for the journalists, you know, this side. But and this is the same arena that Donald Trump will attend when he come a few weeks later. It holds about 10,000 people. Okay, so you notice that, you know, I believe, I don't know if they're people just standing over on this side right here on this floor right here, or are they? No, yeah, they're just standing on the stage. So I guess these are the people probably want to, you know, so they could get a good shot. So they probably told people, hey, you could stand near the stage so they could have a good shot just in case they don't have a lot of people, so they could just look like it's a lot of people there. And apparently it's hot because everybody's waving their fans. Okay, so you had that, and then she showed another picture saying 15 minutes after Kamala started speaking, you see Kamala is on the stage, and she, I don't know why she's moving the camera like that. She noticed some people are leaving. And it looks like some people left already. You know, that's what it looks like, because it looked like the crowd was more than this. So the crowd probably dwindled down after Megan Thee Stallion left. So, but there you have it. You know, will voters be fooled by this? I'm not for sure. I hate to say it. I think some black people are just still in on the plantation. Yeah, they're going to be fooled by this. And before I get to the next story, Mike D is saying Kamala's family doesn't even like her. I hear she's a pretty awful person to work with. I think that's why all the people that she shortlists on this vice president list is kind of like pulling themselves back, because, you know, politics, even though you might even be on one side of the aisle or the other, that's just a close-knit family. You know, everybody knows each other. And the words travel fast. So words probably travel fast of how she treated other individuals in her camp. I hear probably like 90 to 95% of her staff done quit on her. So she has a high turnover rate. I went on her website, and they do have a list of job openings that they're looking for people to fulfill. Nothing close to her. She just had one executive assistant position that was open, but everything else was like marketing and on technical type of stuff. But for her campaign. But I hear that she's a very nasty person. I hear the Bidens don't like her. I hear the Obamas don't like her. So, you know, you don't necessarily have to like anyone to make a deal with them. So you don't necessarily have to like anyone to vote for them, really. You know, as long as you agree with their policies. You don't necessarily have to love this person. It helps if you like them. But I think that's what the difference is between Trump and Kamala Harris. And you could see the visible difference. People really really, really love Donald Trump, and they probably feel okay about Kamala Harris. You know, something that's not right about Kamala Harris, can't put their finger on it. So that's why people are very apprehensive about, hey, I don't think I'm going to hitch myself to this ticket. No, I'm not going to, take my name out the hat. I'm not feeling it. So that could be that's just Kamala. She's not a likable person. She's not. Well, and we could see that in 2016, or was it 2016 when they was running for 2020. Kamala Harris had to drop out the race. She wasn't popular then, so why 4 years later she will be popular? She's not a likable person. So I don't understand why people can't understand that. It's not our fault. And just because she changed her identity, saying, hey, I cooked collard greens. I had so many collard greens, I had to soak them in the bathtub. Ill, number one. But you think that's saying, hey, I'm down. I'm down for the people because I cook collard greens. You know how many white folks cook collard greens in the South? It's not nothing new. It's not nothing new. So what is so special about that? So we're I guess looking at the wrong thing. That's identity politics. We need to stop all that. Okay. And nobody likes her. Okay. Nobody likes Kamala. Lexi is saying these people are all fake. How many of Kamala's aides quit because she's a B? Like I said, Kamala Harris is a bitch. This is what I heard. This is where I heard. What is her policy? Deodius, I don't know. I don't know what her policies are. I just know two of them. And last night she's talked about the economy and stuff like that, or rental rate caps. But those are Biden's policies. She spoke on pretty much Biden stuff. Yeah, this is crap Tiffany would do. Yeah. Obama set our country on a downward slide, and here we are at the 4 years of Biden. Yes. Yeah, and you know what? Everyone says, and I see that, since Obama was elected for those 2 terms, it seemed like politics, and maybe because we're older, we more wiser now that we're our vision is not cloudy and we're paying close attention. Maybe that's one of the reasons, but it seems like politics haven't been the same. It seemed like our America is not the same. America is suffering a mental health crisis. That's what I could say. Democrats are not the same. Republicans are not the same. There's too many extremists, people that are dictating what goes. And to me, it's kind of disgusting. Mr. Wombat saying our state government is full of rhinos. We're dealing with a bunch of illegal immigrants and transplants from blue states, bringing their bad habits with them. I hope I'm wrong, though. Mr. Wombat, what state do you live in? I'm wondering what state do you live in. Carlos is saying, hello, everyone. I'm just tuning in to the chat, and I'm playing catch up. Thing is to vote for the lesser of the 2 evils is not the best, but I do not want Trump in the House. I see, and then that's the lesser of 2 evils. I think I fell for that trap in our last election, and I wasn't really thinking logically. When we say lesser of 2 evils, only reason why I switched my vote is because I was tired of hearing Trump. I was tired of the media. Every single day I was hearing something in the media, and I was like, dang, this motherfucker crazy. That's what I was thinking. I was like, dang, Trump is crazy as hell. And then once I turned off the news channel, and during the before the election, like during the election season, then I was like, well, maybe some of the things that what is actually going on is being inflamed into something else, And then I started noticing these sound bites that they were taking, and they would put a total different title. And if you listen to the sound bite and then try to search for the longest sound bite or the video, you find out he wasn't talking about that. Then I felt like a damn fool. I really felt like a fool. I was like, dang, I was listening, thinking that journalism was actually journalism, and they were actually pushing propaganda. And that was just under 4 years ago. I was like in that trap of where, they are lying to us. I failed in that trap. But anyway, I don't believe in the lesser of two evils. I believe in policy-driven voting. Look at the policies. If the policies directly affect you in a positive way, that's what you should be voting on. If the policies you're not on the policies, you don't care about the policies. I guess you could say lesser of two evils. I guess if you're looking at the person, but is Kamala not evil? I think she is, and she doesn't have. If we're talking about being black or white, Kamala don't like black folks. She don't. She already proved that. She proved that she don't like victims or she don't like black folks. She proved that prior to her presidency. Vice presidency. D-Day said Dems has been shooting themselves in the foot all year long, shaking my head. It's going to be a bad election day for them. Yeah, I think they're going to lose by a lot. I believe so. What happened to Buttigieg? I don't know if Buttigieg is in the running, and if he is, he's on the bottom of the list. I don't think she's gonna pick him. But if everybody else say no, I don't want to do it, she might not have any other choice. Okay, anyway, so let's go to the next video I want to share with you. This is I'm gonna share you this post. Roland Martin is really upset about them giving and I'm saying then the NABJ a platform, okay? The National Black Journalists, I guess it's a convention. They're really upset that he is going to be in attendance and they're going to talk to him. And on this post, it says, here we go again. Former President Trump is set to do a Q&A at the National Association of Black Journalists convention in Chicago today, and the political left is already having a hissy fit. Washington Post columnist Karen Attiah, the co-chair of the National Association of Black Journalists Convention, just stepped down due to the invite of Trump. This is what I'm talking about, ladies. You act like Donald Trump proclaimed that he was the KKK leader. But and if he even was the KKK leader, he's running for president. That's what he's running for. And it's your job to do independent investigation, I guess you want to call it. Your journalistic duties. And so you're stepping down because you don't like him. That's basically, the man never did anything to you. You just don't like him. People will call Donald Trump the R word. Not racist, but the other R word, the grape word. And he's never been convicted of that. Never been convicted criminally. Okay, yeah, they said, oh, we're going to hold you civil responsible, and that could be overturned. But they never convicted him criminally. So how can you call him that? Somebody that stalked him for years, basically, and she ended up winning a lawsuit because they don't like him in New York for some odd reason. Anyway, and so she stepped down. Nicole Hannah Jones, author of New York Times 1619 Project, says Trump is not a regular candidate and we must not treat him as such. Why isn't he a regular candidate? He got a nomination. You got 75 million people that voted this man in last year. Well, he didn't get vote. They claimed that, what's the guy's, Biden got 80 million votes. We don't know. I think they was lying about that. But anyway, he is a regular candidate. Tribe author Tyler Davis says that Donald Trump will attend the convention of journalists who he's referred to as the enemy of the people. He referred to all journalists like that because you guys be lying. You spread propaganda. Donald Trump would talk to a room of black folks after celebrating the elimination of affirmative action. Do you need for affirmative action? Based off your merits and your skills, why would you need that? And then these are people at the high. You're a columnist at the Washington Post. You're the co-chair of the National Association of Black Journalists Convention. You're an author at the New York Times, Project 1619. You have all these accumulation successes in your career, and you're crying. You're crying about doing your job. And then Chicago is in the state that it's in because of a black man that you guys voted in because of identity politics. A Democrat. And he has done nothing for you. He's done nothing for you. Was that affirmative action? DEI when Brandon Johnson got voted in? No, he was voted in by the people. Identity politics, though. This was totally identity politics. And then it says, and Chicago Mayor Johnson says city will protect Trump, even though Johnson has also said Trump is the threat to democracy and wants to bring back the Confederacy. Why? What? Donald Trump did not say anything like that. You see, and this is why I don't listen to journalism. Remember I told you how my mind was all warped because I was listening to the TV and the news? And I said, damn, Donald Trump is crazy. This is why. This is why. Instead of, you guys need to turn off the TV. If you don't listen to the TV and don't listen to the TV. Go on Twitter. Twitter is going to tell you, and people, Elon Musk runs Twitter. No, Elon Musk, and these are community notes. You could create community notes if you find out something is a lie. You create a community notes, and they'll look it up. It's like an AI tool. They'll look it up and say, yeah, this happened on such and such a day. Okay, and so it says threat to our democracy, with some reason is not inciting hate, huh? Okay, well, yeah, it is inciting hate. And as a native of Chicago South Side, I've seen this kind of hate mongering and divisive talk many times before. I was a kid and taking the L downtown when a preacher called me the white devil. I was sure he wasn't talking to me because I was a Catholic. I went to a Catholic school, but he was. The rest of them, the people there weren't buying it and just looked at me with sympathy. Chicago is a very racist place. I can attest to that. You can't be walking in. You can't be walking in certain parts in Chicago. At least back in the early 80s, 90s, you couldn't do that. You know, you wouldn't get lynched or anything like that, but they will whoop your ass. You'll get a good ass whooping. if you walk in certain neighborhoods and you're not supposed to be in that neighborhood. Anyway, so that's from reporter William J. Kelly. He's a reporter in Chicago. And so then you had Roland Martin talking about it. I call him Roland Meathead Martin. Roland Meathead Martin, he's saying, he just tweeted, "This is a lie. There is no problem with the NABJ audio. Trump is already lying. I'm in the room. The announcer has spoken several times. The music playing, the Trump campaign flat out lying. President Trump has been waiting backstage for NABJ to fix their audio issues." Okay, so Roland, are you part of the production team? So now you just claiming Trump is there. I could see if you're saying he's not there, he didn't bother to show up, but he's there and they're saying, "Oh, we got to fix our audios," and you're saying, "Oh, he's lying," and and he tweeted this 4 minutes ago, and you see him on stage. I don't understand this. He's talking to him now. This is live.
Historically black colleges.
Maybe.
You know, when I say this, historically black colleges and universities.
Is there not something wrong with the audio? Seems pretty sketchy to me, Roland. You can't hear it. Anyway, so this is Roland Martin saying Donald Trump has always held the free press in disdain, and that is especially true with journalists trying to hold them accountable. Accountable are women of color. So he point this out. This is one of the questions that lady asks him.
A racist question.
Donald Trump has always held the free press in disdain. And that is especially true when the journalists trying to hold him accountable are women of color.
On the campaign trail, you called yourself a nationalist. Some people saw that as emboldening white nationalists. Now people are also
I don't know
saying
why you'd
that
say
the
that.
president.
That's such a racist
There are
question.
some people.
That's such a racist question. Honestly, I mean, I know you have it written down and you're going to tell me. Let me tell you, it's a racist question.
The same thing with April Ryan. I watch her get up. I mean, you talk about somebody that's a loser. She doesn't know what the hell she's doing.
Are you going to include the Congressional Black Caucus and the Congressional
Well, I
Hispanic
would.
Caucus,
I tell you what. Do you want to
as
set
well
up
as
the
on
meeting?
city
Do you want to set up the meeting?
No.
Are they friends of yours?
Donald Trump has always.
What's wrong with what he said, though? Okay, you're saying that I called myself a nationalist, and then you tried to say, "Oh, don't you think you're emboldened white nationalists?" And like you're just saying that you just called me a nationalist, and you're saying I'm associating myself with white nationalists because I'm white. Why wouldn't that be racist? That is a racist question. And then he asked the other reporter, "Hey, if you know any of them, you could set them up. Get me in contact with them, and I wouldn't have a problem meeting with them." What is the problem? What he said? Is that racist? What he said? I don't think it is, and I don't think he had. That wasn't a problem. This is the longer portion of the interview.
Donald Trump has always held the free press in disdain. And that is especially true when the journalists trying to hold him accountable are women of color.
On the campaign trail, you called yourself a nationalist. Some people saw that as emboldening white nationalists. Now people are also
I don't know
saying
why you'd
that
say
the
that. That's such a racist
There are
question.
some people.
That's such a racist question. Honestly, I mean, I know you have it written down and you're going to tell me. Let me tell you, it's a racist question.
The same thing with April Ryan. I watch her get up. I mean, you talk about somebody that's a loser. She doesn't know what the hell she's doing.
Are you going to include the Congressional Black Caucus and the Congressional
Well, I
Hispanic
would.
Caucus,
I tell you what. Do you want to
as well
set
as
up
on
the meeting?
city?
Do you want to set up the meeting?
No.
Are they friends of
I'm just
yours?
Comments like those make it all the more surprising.
What was so bad of the comment? What was bad about that? He asked her, are they friends of yours? Are you going to set up the meeting? He was actually being honest. That was a genuine question. Hey, I don't know him. Do you know him? Like, come on. I'm the white guy in the room and you ask me, are you going to set up the... yeah, I will meet with him if you give me the number to get in contact with him. Or tell my aide who should I contact, and we could contact each other. But remember, everybody was distancing themselves from Donald Trump because they already painted him as a racist. They didn't want to meet with Donald Trump. They didn't want to meet with him. The Black Caucus did not want to meet with him. And they still don't. You're rogue. You're rogue if you're voting for Donald Trump and you're black. You're the black sheep of the family. You're the rogue Democrat. You strayed from the reservation.
Then that the National Association of Black Journalists announced an interview with Trump at its annual conference this Wednesday. One co-chair of the event, Washington Post columnist Karen Attiah, just resigned from her position in protest. Coming on tonight to discuss, Roland Martin is the host and managing editor of Roland Martin Unfiltered. He joins us now. Roland, thank you so much for joining me. I'm just going to give you the floor because I think you represent the concerns of a lot of African-American journalists and just journalists, period. What is the main problem with NABJ inviting Donald Trump to be interviewed tomorrow at the conference in Chicago?
Look, we've always invited presidential candidates, Republicans and Democrats. 1996, Bob Dole and Jack Kemp were there in Nashville. 2016, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump were invited. Trump did not come. He did not come in 2017, 18, 19, or 20. The difference here is Donald Trump has been far more vicious in his attacks on journalists, on journalism, and the fourth estate. He has pushed fake news. He has sat here and lied about the election results. And so the reason I've been so upset is because when the news came out is first, there is no way Harris Faulkner and Fox News or any representative of Fox News should be on any stage at NABJ questioning Donald Trump after they paid $787 million to settle a case where they lied about the election and they knew they were lying.
You're wrong, Roland. You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. Yeah, they did settle that case. Fox News did get penalized or settled a lawsuit on the voting machines. The reason why you're wrong on this, what's the lady's name? That journalist, she doesn't own Fox News. She doesn't own it. If she's a member of the National Association of Black Journalists, you can't stop her. She is a part of your association. She pays her dues. You didn't kick her out. So just because they don't view the same and they don't have the same political ideology, it doesn't matter if they're black, white, yellow, purple, blue. They could be an alien. They don't need the same ideology as you. They're journalists. So you might not agree with their tactics. And a lot of people don't agree with your tactics. She's still a journalist and she's allowed to be there. And because if she wasn't allowed to be there, they wouldn't have invited her. And maybe National Association of Black Journalists realize that what you guys been doing to Donald Trump is a bunch of bullshit. Maybe they realize, hey, we're steering our black folks in the wrong direction. We need to give them all points of view of politics, not the old black slave Democratic way, the black church Democratic way. I don't know if you guys follow Roland Martin, because if you look at his shows, just his normal shows, he always showed that big ass preacher that can't hardly walk. That's when I think of old black Democrat, I think of that guy. We gonna land on the promised land. We gonna walk to the water and drink from the cup of land and milk and honey. That's all you talk about. That old slave black Democrat. And this is 2024. The tactics that they was using on black people are no longer working. We don't care to be entertained. And this is why you see black men, that's mainly why black men are not in the black church no more. Black men, strong black men, are not dealing with the crap. That's why they voting for Donald Trump. I can run into so many people on X. They said they don't even agree with Republicans. They still voting for Donald Trump because they believe in the politics. And they don't agree on everything, which you shouldn't. You shouldn't agree on everything a person say. That means you're being controlled.
A second case that's going on. 2, no black male journalists. Got 4,000 members. I'm down for the sisters. And if there were 3 black men and no sisters, I would be joining the sisters saying, where's representation?
He mad because he can't get his teeth in Donald Trump. You're mad because you're like insignificant. You're not even on the news. Is he even on the news anymore? You're not on mainstream media. You created and I'm not mad at you for that. You created a platform for yourself. You're in politics, and he does have experience in that, but he is very hypocritical. Remember, you guys, when we was talking about Tiffany Henry, this was a few months ago. Tiffany Henry went on her campaign trail of trying to, clean up her name, and was still lying to the mainstream media, more broad stream media. And she went on Roland Martin. Roland Martin was being all nice to her, didn't even bother to look up what she's saying was lying, fact checking. Okay. You didn't even bother to do that. But when Jason House came on there, you was giving him all the smoke. All the smoke. It's not wrong when you supposed to give pushback. Give them pushback. But you're full of shit. And then you're being sexist too. And you're supposed to be a Democrat. You're being sexist. You don't think a woman could stand on her own or stand toe to toe with Donald Trump? A lot of women interviewed Donald Trump. Now, can we say Donald Trump? He's probably got PTSD from dealing with mainstream media. So maybe he's treading lightly so he won't paint a bad picture on himself, which I don't blame him. I do not blame him. Yeah, I only want to interview with such and such and such and such. I want to agree with the people that is interviewing with me. I want to say, yes, I will interview with her. I would like to interview with her. You're not just going to put me with anybody. And let me do a background check on them.
Thirdly, no black-owned media. We're in Chicago. I'm here covering the Sonia Massey rally at Mount Pilgrim Baptist Church on the west side. This city has a rich, deep history with the black media. Ebony, Jet, Chicago Defender, Ida B. Wells, married Fred Barnett in terms of moving here, working for his newspaper. And for no black-owned media on that panel, that's why Black Enterprise and Essence have canceled their panel, the Executive Leadership Council, on Thursday. And so that's why people are upset, because this man.
Essence and Black Enterprise, you guys put in chat, are they still owned by black people? So can we really call it black owned media? BET, isn't BET owned by a white executive now? I don't think black people own BET either. So why are you complaining about that? Okay, yeah, National Association of Black Journalism. They're black journalists. So you just want everybody to just be black in the audience besides Donald Trump. You want everybody to be black. You want the media to be black. Everybody to be black. Did you negotiate any of these contracts? You just coming being mad at the National Association of Black Journalists, the NABJ. You're being mad at them because of the contracts they negotiated with media companies, which you had nothing to do with. Are the local media going to be there, or is just they hired somebody so it could be privy to their platform? I'm just inquiring minds want to know. Okay, regular journalists, they're going to have Chicago media there. It's probably smaller outlets, independent journalists and all that stuff. So you're mad because the bigger companies are not there. That's probably not owned by black people. Number one, Black Enterprise is so biased. Anyway, Black Enterprise is biased. I was reading some of their posts. Totally biased. They're owned by Democrats too. Owned by Democrats. Crazy lefties. And some of the shit they be saying.
And has been vicious. You showed the video attacking Jamel Hill, Yamiche Alcindor, April Ryan.
Everyone attacks Jamel Hill because she doesn't make any goddamn sense. She's loony. She is loony. They hyped up Jamel Hill like she was gonna be the next who was a major Pulitzer Prize winner in journalists. They hyped her up like that, and she's not. So I would have attacked her too, and she is a race baiter.
All three people who were named NABJ's Journalists of the Year.
So, Roland, I want to also add to this. The counter that was said by the NABJ president was, well, this is an opportunity to hold Trump accountable, and we'll have live fact checking. But the reality is most of the people on that stage, and this is not an insult to any of those journalists, except maybe some criticism of Harris Faulkner, it's not like these people aren't capable. But haven't we seen after 6 or 7 years that fact checking does nothing for Donald Trump? Is there any way that the NABJ could justify this?
Look, you can fact check him, but you got to have folks who are willing to go at him and say, I'm sorry, that's a lie. That's not true. You must stop it in the moment it is said. You can't sit here and allow him to pontificate. We already know he's going to lie about HBCU. He's going to lie about black unemployment. He's going to lie about these things. But more importantly, NABJ condemned him multiple times for his attacks on the media. And so what you're dealing with is a serial liar. So unless you are willing to go toe-to-toe with him, and Harris Faulkner and Fox News will never do it, then you cannot deal with a liar. You must be as aggressive in fact-checking him as he is aggressive in law.
Roland, I'm going to ask this quick because I think this is also key. The situation isn't just one of Donald Trump being aggressive and violent. He has called the press the enemy of the state. He has encouraged
aggressive. You see how the words that they're using? He was aggressive and violent. The man almost lost his life 2 weeks ago. And you're calling him aggressive and violent? What are we saying here? And okay, you're acting like this is war. This is how Roland Martin is, and I could see why Donald Trump wouldn't want to interview with none of these folks. Because this is insane. I'm trying to tell you what I'm running on, and of course you're going to ask me about my past presidency. But it shouldn't be like, okay, I'm going to attack him and try to stump him out. No, just be decent about it. It's not wrong with giving pushback, but we don't need to, okay, you're saying this, but I know what I did was this and this and this. You might call it a lie, but no, I was there. I was there in my presidency. And then, that HBCU, I don't know what he's talking about, because he did do a lot of stuff for HBCU in order for them not to go back for funding. Why is that a lie? Why is that a lie that the black unemployment rate was down? How is that a lie? You could actually look that up. So what are they talking about? But they want people to believe that this is just a terrible person. He's going to lie. So, of course, Roland Martin is, I guess you gotta, protect the hill that you want to die on. You gotta stick to that. Whatever you're said about Donald Trump, you gotta stick to that until you die or he dies. Until you don't need to defend that point no more. To me, it's really ridiculous. It's really insane. You guys put it in chat. Let me know what you think about that. Put it in the chat. He lied about the HBCU and unemployment. They have proof to back those up, and I haven't seen it. I have seen it. I've seen it. They wrote a big old article about it. So what you could actually, if you Google it, it will actually come up. That was under the Platinum Plan, I believe. I think it was called the Platinum Plan or something like that. But it talks about all Trump's accomplishment during his tenure of president. See. And then they don't give him credit. I know it passed in the House and the Senate, but they don't give Donald Trump credit for opportunity zones. Opportunity zones, you buy a business in a lower poverty area, you're able to get, some tax abatements on that particular property. You're able to get certain type of loans for that particular business. They don't give him credit for that either. This is just saying what he's gonna do. I need to find out. This is the Platinum Plan. This was, what he was doing when he was the actual president. This is through AP News. Trump signs bill restoring funding for black colleges. President Donald Trump on Thursday signed a bipartisan bill that will permanently provide more than $250 million a year to the HBCUs, along with dozens of other institutions that serve large shares of minority students. Okay, was put in place. So when he met with some of the black leaders, they were telling him, hey, every year or every 4 years or 3 years, we have to go back and ask for this funding. And it takes them so long to give us the funding. We end up not, doing what is necessary, keeping kids in school, giving out scholarships or whatever, updating our lab equipment, whatever. So it was cumbersome. So Donald Trump decided, okay, let me remove some of those obstacles for you. And we're going to say we're going to do $250 million a year. This is in the news. Roland Martin said he's going to lie about it. Then the current president tried to one-up him. Oh, we're going to give him more. Don't know how much more. I got to look it up. But he tried to one-up Donald Trump, even with the prescription drugs, the insulin. Donald Trump did that. But you had Joe Biden coming in and saying, no, I did it. This is why we have this problem. And everything that Donald Trump did, Joe Biden tried to one up him. Like literally, even with the taxes on imports, they ridiculed Donald Trump for doing that. They ridiculed Donald Trump for doing that. They say, oh, you know, you're doing that to China. You're putting this, I guess, import and export tax. And he taxed some of the goods at 100%, some at 50%. The reason why he did that is because China, he said China doesn't order nothing from us. So if we're going to be buying their shit, we're going to be buying their shit at a higher, we're going to charge them. We're going to charge them to come in to give us stuff. And then, you know, they went through this tax war or whatever. They criticized Donald Trump for doing that. They said they were going to start a war. And lo and behold, just this past, like in March, your boy, Joe Biden, did the same damn thing. And even at a higher rate on some of the goods and goods that they're importing in from China. So I just wish people will open up their mind. Okay. Kennard, the DJ, how many boxes of cereal did he eat this morning? That's why I call him Meathead. Meathead Roland Martin Meathead. Because his head looks like it's about to explode. He can't take no more food. The way that they are going after Trump is crazy. I hope the hell he wins. I hope so too. Can you imagine having Kamala Harris as the president? I'm telling you, you guys better get out and vote. You can tell Roland Martin is getting paid. Also, he hold all his money in his tote bag of his, and he must not lose all that money. Yep. The media is the enemy of the people. Where's the lie? Yeah, they are the enemy of the people. They spread propaganda for us to be like, and then if you actually, I'm glad we have the internet so we could look up stuff ourselves. But if you listen to mainstream media all the time, you will get programmed. You literally have to turn off mainstream media. And I would suggest, okay, if you're going to listen to MSNBC or NBC, CNN, you got to listen to Fox to kind of balance it out. Then figure out, okay, this doesn't make any sense. What he said, put the pieces together, and then you'll get probably partial the truth. But I would suggest to anybody, if you don't got a profile on X, you should join X. Because X, they do have a lot of journalists, and I follow most of the journalists. And some of the stuff that they be telling, putting on their posts, they haven't written about it yet. Their sources will tell them, hey, I hear something in the rumbling. Matter of fact, Colin Rugg is a good source to follow. And a lot of the stuff that he puts out comes true. If he's writing about it, it's going to come true in a couple of days. It's not like because, he's talking to his sources. I'm not saying that he has this psychiatric, psychic power. No, he has sources and he'll put it on X, and most of the stuff that he puts out there is true. They just haven't printed it out in the media. So anyway, that was it, you guys. That was it. We got to start fact checking the media. Some people think it's because it's on the news is true, and it's a total lie. I showed you that video about that weird. Did that share you guys? Share that with you? I don't know if it was yesterday or whatever. And they kept on using the word weird. describing J.D. Vance. They was describing J.D. Vance, and all of them using the word weird across CNN and MSNBC. It's like, okay. And they said it, multiple journalists said this word weird, describing Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. So I guess that's a trending word now. So before we head off, I want to get some laughs in. This should make you laugh. We'll show you this one first. I'll show you this one. This one's extreme, but it's funny. This guy is named Chawanne Davis. He's running for Congress. Don't know what state he's in, but it's hilarious.
You just might need. Democrats like to say that no one needs
Arizona.
An AR-15 for self-defense. That no one could possibly need all 30 rounds. But when this rifle is the only thing standing between your family and a dozen angry Democrats in Klan hoods, you just might need that semi-automatic and all 30 rounds.
You guys like that?
Democrats like to say that no one needs an AR-15 for self-defense. That no one could possibly need all 30 rounds. But when this rifle is the only thing standing between your family and a dozen angry Democrats in Klan hoods, you just might need that semi-automatic and all 30 rounds. Democrats like.
Okay, that was Chawanne Davis. He's based out of Arizona. Okay, I guess he's running for Congress. This other one, I thought it was hilarious. I really thought it was hilarious. This is, remember that video I shared with you? It was a parody. Elon Musk shared it. I don't know who created it, but he shared it. But it was a campaign video of Kamala Harris. This is another one that they made. It's hilarious.
Is my rebranding. I'm Kamala Harris, and this is my rebranding. I get it. Until now, Americans have seen me as that childless Karen that always has too many drinks at the cocktail party, and you don't have the heart to tell my husband Doug that he's a whipped beta male married to an insufferable witch. Look, I get it. I'm unlikable. I'm inauthentic. I say crazy shit.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. When we talk about the children of the community, they are the children of the community.
I want to tell you, by the way, these are actual quick clips that she said. Now, the stuff that she's saying that's bad about herself, you know, that's AI. But the things that they're sharing, like these clips, these are things that she actually said in front of TV. I'm going to start it over.
I'm Kamala Harris, and this is my rebranding. I get it. Until now, Americans have seen me as that childless Karen that always has too many drinks at the cocktail party, and you don't have the heart to tell my husband Doug that he's a whipped beta male married to an insufferable witch. Look, I get it. I'm unlikable. I'm inauthentic. I say crazy shit.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. When we talk about the children of the community, they are the children of the community. You need to get to go and need to be able to get where you need to go to do the work and get home.
And yes, okay, I was the border czar. And so even though I might have been a bad vice president, what I do have is ambition. You would not believe what I would do for this country. Oh, who am I kidding? If you vote for me, you're as cringe as Chuck Schumer.
We are here today to throw our support behind Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm clapping. You don't have to.
Let's all see what can be, unburdened by what has been. And by what has been, I mean the Biden-Harris administration. Vote Trump 2024. Let's make America great again.
I'm Professor Sagan Deesnuts, and I approve this message.
Oh my goodness. To me, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. There was another parody of
paired, and that meant,
I don't know if you guys follow him, but he's on, I guess he's on Twitter, or what is this called? TikTok. But he has a show on YouTube. But this is hilarious because he always does parodies on, on different people. And he always make fun of, like, I guess you want to call them the woke liberals. That's what he does.
Kamala for president. I'm so excited she's our nominee. Wow, there's a lot going on. So Biden had to step out. He can't run anymore because he's mentally impaired, and that mentally impaired man endorsed Kamala for president. Makes sense to me. Kamala's our guy. Kamala, I'm with her. That's what we're saying now, right? We want Kamala. We want Kamala. She's gonna fight that evil Trump to save our democracy. And get this, she's the nominee because the DNC took away Biden's support, money, and delegates to push him out. He then wrote a resignation letter from being the nominee to officially step down. And it had a forged signature on it. That's not an insurrection, is it? And then suddenly the delegates pick Kamala as their nominee for president instead of the voters having any say in it. That's how they do it in North Korea, which is fine because sometimes it's just easier and faster to do it that way. And the result of that whole process is Kamala being the Democratic nominee for president. She'll be in charge of saving our democracy. She'll do a good job of it. She'll be a great president. She's got experience meeting with important heads of state. And when she meets with leaders, she knows how to dive right into the most important matters of world politics.
I want to welcome these leaders for coming in to have this very important discussion about some of the most pressing issues of our time. I am Kamala Harris. My pronouns are she and her. I am a woman sitting at the table wearing a blue suit.
She nailed it! That suit was blue. It was very blue. She did forget to tell them that she's wearing a black mask, though. But those people there probably cracked that mysterious code by using their vision. I'd like to see Trump go against Kamala in a debate. She would demolish him.
Today is today. And yesterday was...
This guy cracks me up. Somebody put in the chat. His name is JD. That's his name. Yeah. So he always makes these funny videos. Anyway. So that's about it, you guys. If you not follow me on X, feel free to follow me on X. Son of Chawanne Burns. Okay. And that's it for today, you guys. I really appreciate every single last one of you. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and share this channel. And we'll be talking to you tomorrow. Okay? I'm sending all my good to you. You guys have a good one.
I get it. Until now, Americans have seen me as that childless Karen that always has too many drinks at the cocktail party, and you don't have the heart to tell my husband Doug that he's a whipped beta male married to an insufferable witch. Look, I get it. I'm unlikable. I'm inauthentic. I say crazy shit.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. When we talk about the children of the community, they are the children of the community. You need to get to go and need to be able to get where you need to go to do the work and get home.
And yes, okay, I was the border czar. And so even though I might have been a bad vice president, what I do have is ambition. You would not believe what I would do for this country. Oh, who am I kidding? If you vote for me, you're as cringe as Chuck Schumer.
We are here today to throw our support behind Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm clapping. You don't have to.
Let's all see what can be, unburdened by what has been. And by what has been, I mean the Biden-Harris administration. Vote Trump 2024. Let's make America great again.
I'm Professor Sagan Deesnuts, and I approve this message.